Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you some super easy coastal DIYs that you can use to decorate your tier trays. So I'm starting off with these, we call them Muskoka chairs, but they're also called Adirondack chairs, and I picked those up at a local supplier for, I think they were two for $1.20. I will link it down below. I'm pretty sure you can find some of them at dollar stores as well. This was just a little bit easier to get. So I give them a coat of white acrylic paint. I also want to mention that this video is part of my monthly challenge that I host every month, and it is the theme for this month was coastal DIYs, and you could have used dollar store or any other source for your supplies. So make sure you check out the playlist, which will be linked down below, to see what everybody else created for this theme. I will be taking a break over the month of July from this challenge, but we'll be returning with some fall DIY challenge in August. So make sure you tune in for that. So once I finished painting these Muskoka chairs, I set them aside, and now I moved on to a project number 2 that was part of the project number 1 as well, and I will be making mini pillows to go onto the chairs. So I have this material that I'm still working through. It is a canvas that I picked up at a dollar store. It was a drop sheet canvas, and I am just cutting it in these two pieces in half to create pillows that will go to the back. I have been loving creating these mini pillows for my tier tray. I did one for my Buoy Decor, and it just looks so cute and gives the tier tray a different texture and a bit of a different style of decorating, but I love it. So once I had cut these in half, I will be hot gluing the 3 sides, and then I will be stuffing it with some stuffing. And you don't need a lot of it because the pillow is fairly small. So before you stuff it, you want to turn the little pillows inside out or right side in, so that way you don't see any of the leftover pieces on the edges that you had glued around. I am using just the back of a paintbrush just to push out the corners. This was a little bit hard because it's such a tiny pillow. And then I proceeded to stuffing them, and typically I would fold the ends in and then hot glue them together, but because this was so tiny, I have just hot glued the ends together, but I used some of these clips just to hold it together while I was gluing. So at that same supplier that I picked up the Muskoka chairs, I had picked up these tiny little nautical wood pieces, and there is a sailboat, a lighthouse, and an anchor. And I will be painting the lighthouse in red, the sailboat in like coastal blue, and then the anchor in white. Once they were dried, I used crafting tweezers to pick them up, add glue, and then I glued them on to the pillows. I would like to apologize for the bird noises and nature noises in the background. We had a flood in our kitchen, and I have huge fans from the contractor here to dry everything off, so I have to move outside to record the voiceover. I hope you can understand. I think these turned out so cute, and they're definitely going to be a conversation pieces at a gathering because they look so cute. My next project, I have these mini clay pots. I was going to use four, then decided just to use three, and I will be making a buoy. So the way I make this is I start by gluing these together. So I'm also showing you that I will be using this snowflake. You could use styrofoam. I hate the way styrofoam sounds, and I didn't have anybody here to cut styrofoam pieces for me. So I'm using this thick snowflake, and I will be tracing it a circle around. I will be drawing a circle and then cutting it out, and that will be my bottom piece. It is nice and thick, so it will work just as good and give me that same look as the styrofoam would as well. So now it's time to paint it, and I am painting the big part of it with white acrylic paint, and then I'm going to be adding a light blue and a darker blue stripes with some white in the middle. And then I will be adding some gray paint, just light gray paint to the top of it. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, welcome. My name is Sonja, and you are watching my DIY channel. I host a challenge like this, like I said, once a month, where I invite the creators to join me and share their DIYs. I typically have a theme, whether it's a theme of what to make or what type of materials to use. If, like I said, if you're not subscribed, I would love it if you consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. I do Dollar Tree DIYs often, as well as some furniture makeovers and thrift store upcycles. So make sure that notification bell is on so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. I also have several other channels. If you want to visit those, they are linked in the description box. So once my clay pots have dried, I glue them to that round foam piece, and then I also glue just a piece of rope on top. I think this is such a great piece to add to my tier tray. It has the coastal colors that I'm using to decorate it with. So now I'm moving on to this very simple DIY. I've had this lantern since Christmas, and I've been just moving it around, not sure what to do with it. And then I came across, while searching for some coastal decor, I came across a lantern that was painted in this coastal light blue color. Well, that one was probably an antique that was in that color, but I absolutely loved it, and I thought, well, I have a lantern that I can recreate this and give it some new life and actually use it. And this is what I did. Like I said, very simple $1.25 DIY. I did leave some of that black to show through to make the lantern look a little bit aged and antiqued. Another great DIY that will add so much texture to your tray or to any decor is I'm using these votive candles. This is my last one that I have. I used some in my last coastal DIY, and I'm using some of this nautical rope and this anchor as well that came from that supplier. I paint this anchor white and let it dry. And while the anchor is drying, I proceed on gluing this nautical rope around the votive tea light candle holder. I love using nautical rope, not just for coastal decor, but for really any. I think it's a great DIY material to use for fall as well as Christmas. And sometimes even in your winter decor that's not Christmas, it looks good as well. So once I wrapped it all around, I take my anchor and just glue it on. I think this is like another very simple DIY, and that's gonna look great on your tier tray. Now I'm making some sign. I had this a piece of wood that I used for a long time for a different DIY, and it was stained gray. So I just took some leftover paint on the brush that had some white and some of that blue on it from painting the buoy, and I just dry brushed it on, and it gave it lots of different colors, a little bit of white and a little bit of blue and a little bit of gray. And then I just took my marker and wrote "Life is better" in flip-flops. Like, this is such an easy DIY to create fillers for your tray. Another one is also a sign, and this one I am using my live edge wood that I picked up at your dollar store with more, and then I just write beach on it. Now this blue was a little bit brighter than I wanted it to be, so I end up sanding it down and also dry brushing some white acrylic paint over it just to soften it up. I like how cloudy the blue had made it because I didn't wait for the marker to dry completely, so I would pull it through while sanding it. And now I'm going to create a little crab sign. I am using this hexagon wood that this set had come from I want to say Dollar Tree, but it might have been from Dollarama as well. And then I also have the crab from that supplier that all the other nautical stuff came. And I'm painting stripes to make it look a little bit like shiplap. I'm not looking for perfect lines. I am just wanting some of that raw wood to show through because I think it gives it that shiplap look. Then I take my walnut gel stain and I just stain the little crab with a rag. And then once it's well, it didn't take long to dry, and I just hot glue it to the sign. So simple, and yet looks absolutely stunning, I think, in my opinion. The stripes did make the little hexagon look like it was shiplap, and by staining the crab, it just makes it pop out. Well, here is how I decorated my tier tray, and I absolutely love it. I think it's such a fun tray, and it has so many different unique pieces on there, and I barely spent any money in creating these. I think all of it definitely came under $15. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you check out that playlist, which will be linked down below. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.